Everybody, welcome back. So today is going to be my April TBR. This stack is slowly growing larger because I am falling behind. So far in the year I have read 4 books, which I know, not impressive at all. My goal for the year is to read 20, and I think right now in my stack I have 5 books, and I'll probably add to that. There's some books on my to order list that I really want to go get, and I'm also just itching to go to Barnes & Noble here soon. Let's get into this. Let me tell you what I am planning on trying to read for April. We'll see. The first book I have on my TBR is this guy. This is The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. I mentioned this author in my last video because I read The Sundown Motel by the same author, and I immediately after finishing that book ordered this one because I liked the style of the book and I liked the style of writing, and I heard this one was also equally as good as the other one, so I was like, you know what, let's do it. It looks like this one also has 2 timelines in a novel, or 2 main characters in a novel on 2 different timelines. Seems like very much so the same kind of setup as the other novel, but a different scenario, which is fine. That's why I got this. I don't think this one has a paranormal element to it like the other one did, but basically it's another mystery based in 2 timelines. We're trying to figure out what the mystery is. But basically it is the 2 timelines. Girls are going missing in the 1950s. No one really knows where they're going, or they're being sent somewhere where, you know, can't bother anyone because no one wants them. Fast forward to 2014, our character Fiona is trying to figure out a mystery of a body that ended up showing up in a field, and all of the connections that it has to some of these girls that have gone missing. I'm pretty sure that's the premise. Again, I need to start writing scripts, don't I? But that is basically it. I love a good mystery. I'm very excited to get into this. I think this is gonna be the first one that I start reading just because I'm still kind of in just a creepy mystery mood. So probably gonna start this evening, and I'm pretty excited about it. The next book is one that I've mentioned multiple times at this point, and it is Kazuo Ishiguro's The Buried Giant. This is a book that is on my TBR, and it's like as a last resort. If I can't get through it this time, I'm not going to. I have tried reading this book 2 times, and I'm not going to really talk about it anymore because I mentioned it in my last TBR, but yeah, really want to get through it. I really like The Remains of the Day, which was written by Ishiguro, but for whatever reason, I cannot get through this novel. I am determined to try one more time though, but we'll see. The next one is another one that I've mentioned in a couple of TBRs, but I finally have the actual copy of the book in my hand, and that is The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. And again, look at how beautiful the cover of this book is. It makes me very excited, but it is a LGBTQ+ novel. It has a lot of those kind of elements to it, which I'm very excited to read. I don't read enough books that have LGBTQ+ elements to them. I just don't. I need to be better versed in it. But it kind of reminds me of Miss Peregrine's in aspect that there's orphans, and there's the love element, a family element, but there's also romance with it, and it's supposed to be a really, really good feel-good novel. And I'm just really excited to get into this and read it and just kind of enjoy the process of this book. And I don't think I'll ever get tired of looking at this cover. It just makes me happy. And I'm hoping the book does the same thing for me. But basically this book is centered around a character named Lioness Baker. He's in his early 40s, and he is sent to go work with some orphan children who live in the middle of nowhere. The orphans are apparently magical, which again is why it reminds me of Miss Peregrine's, and he basically has to figure out what's going on with these kids, but you know, ultimately I think he probably ends up falling in love with, bonding with them and being captivated by their magic, and ultimately it becomes this little family. Lioness arrives at the orphanage and meets Arthur, who is the overseer of the orphanage. He is the one that has created and is running this, and I do believe there's going to be a romance between Arthur and Lioness, which again, I'm very excited to see kind of how that goes, how that unfolds. I love a little bit of romance. I've spoke about this before though, novels driven solely in romance, I don't enjoy. I'm not really that into it. I like bits of romance within a different storyline. I'm hoping the children and the orphanage kind of take a forefront, and the romance is kind of a subset to the plot. I like romance, but something I just don't enjoy reading books solely on romance. I find them, for me, I get bored, which it makes me sound really cynical. It's just I don't enjoy reading. I like different kind of storylines, you know? Either way, I am very excited to get into this and meet Lioness. The fourth book is another one that I mentioned in my last TBR, and that is the one by Leigh Bardugo. This is Crooked Kingdom. This is the second installment to this series, and it's basically going through again. Kaz and his team of misfits have gone through and have done a heist in a highly secure area, and this is the aftermath of that. This is a thick one. This book is thick, and I am very excited to get into this. I really enjoyed the first one. I did feel like the first one dragged in certain areas, so I'm hoping this one has a bit more girth to it and a bit more storytelling that is like really captivating to me, because I did find that the other one dragged at certain points. But overall, the reason I wanted to read this one again, I did enjoy the first one so much, is because the characters in this book I really enjoy. I just find them interesting. Kaz in particular I think is really cool, and I also want to read it because it is getting turned into a Netflix show, and I would love to actually read this before the show comes out. I do need to read the other one. I haven't read the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so you don't technically need to read those to understand these, but I do feel like I probably should have read the trilogy first. But I'm gonna go back and read it eventually, as long as this book doesn't like ruin it for me, which I don't think it will. I think I'll enjoy it. So that is the fourth book on my TBR. And then the last one on my TBR is this one. I also mentioned this in the last in my last video, and this is by Helen Oyeyemi, and this is What Is Not Yours Is Not Yours, and I'm pretty sure this is a collection of short stories that all kind of tie in together as one major story. I'm not 100% sure. I don't even know where my dust cover for this is. After we moved, I put a lot of my dust covers in protective things, because if I'm a military spouse and military moves can sometimes be unpredictable. So I protected all my dust covers, but I just haven't put it back on. So I'm not even 100% sure what this one's about, but from what I remember when I got it, it's a collection of short stories that all connect into a larger overarching story. Interested to read this. It's probably the one I'm the least amount interested in, so it will be probably continually pushed on the back burner until I finish these other ones. But eventually I'm gonna run out of books I haven't read, and I'm gonna have to read it, you know? So this is the last book on my TBR. Those are all the ones on my TBR, but generally I'm leaning towards at least 3. I put up 2 fingers. At least 3 books this month. I think that will get me kind of back on track to hitting 20 easily. And I think I should be able to do it again. I got my wisdom teeth out at the beginning of the month, so it kind of threw me off for all of this. But otherwise, I feel like I'm back on my game. I have time to read, and these are some books I'm really interested in. So I'm hoping that my next wrap up, my April wrap up, will actually be very interesting and successful. I'm hoping to have some good reviews out here for you. But that, guys, is the entire video. Let me know what you are reading this month down in the comments. Also, thank you so much for being here. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.